Foolish mind, how long will you keep hiding, jumping out to attack me whenever you think I'm asleep? Don't try to drag me away from the lotus feet of Lord Swamitundra, for only there will we find real pleasure and love. For many lifetimes, you have followed me everywhere as a close friend, when in actuality you are my greatest enemy. Taking advantage of my weaknesses, you want to keep me from the lotus feet of Lord Swamitundra and his devotees. It is only their feet that give me life. So abandon this nonsense and let us together seek real pleasure and love. Foolish mind, will you ever tire? Stop envying my worshipful Lord. Without the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Swamitundra and his devotees, life is a failure. Foolish mind, you present distinction and adoration and expect me to run after them. My only desire now is to run for the blessings of the feet of Lord Swamitundra and his devotees. It is only there that real pleasure and love reside. Foolish mind, you hurl the weapons of doubt and fear at me, but I am taking full shelter of Lord Swamitundra and his devotees. With such protection, what can your weapons do? Put them aside and join me in seeking real pleasure and love. Foolish mind, you are a rascal. I challenge you to present your best offers. They are useless. The priceless lotus feet of Lord Swamitundra are far superior to anything you have. Get far away from me. Leave me at the source of real pleasure and love. Foolish mind, you seek attention. Please go somewhere else, as I have seen all of your tricks. My attention now rests solely on the Lord and his devotees. Their lotus feet have captured my existence. Foolish mind, sometimes you come in disguise as my brother, teacher, friend, or guide. But now I have tricked you. Your harassment has driven me to the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Swamitundra and his devotees. Here, all of humanity can feel real pleasure and love. Oh, foolish mind, you are calling my name? But I can only hear the transcendental name of my Lord Swamitundra. To call on his name is the perfection and the resting place of all sound. Please stop your noise so that I can meditate on that divine sound. Foolish mind, you are a counterfeit. You are bringing these objects of lust, trying to sell them to me, when it is real love I have come to purchase. You previously confused me in the past with these artificial trinkets, but no more. Those days are over. I will pay any price for darshan of the lotus feet of Lord Swamitundra and his associates, for there are to be found real pleasure and love. Oh, foolish mind, you are so expert in presenting the unreal as real and the real as illusion. Rascal! There is no reality outside the shelter of Lord Swamitha and his devotees. Oh, how I aspire for that pleasure and love. Foolish mind, you have often made me offend many great Vaishnavas. Now you must come and join me and take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Swamitha and the great Vaishnava. It is only there we will find real pleasure, peace, and love.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vijay Bhutale Mate Bhakti Tirtha Swami Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shaitanvanashi Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vijay Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaura Vani Prachari Niri Visesa Sonya Vadi Pastaka Desata Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanandana Salakaya Chakshulanmilitam Vena Tasmai Sri Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishta Sapitan Vena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we are very happy to be with you today.
Hare Krishna, queridos devotos, estamos muy felices de estar con todos ustedes hoy.
Today, His Holiness is addressing a very important topic.
Hoy, Su Santidad está dirigiéndose hacia un tópico muy interesante.
Our foolish mind.
Nuestra mente tonta.
Very foolish mind.
Nuestra muy tonta mente.
The mind is so foolish that we don't even know how foolish the mind is.
Nuestra mente es tan tonta que ni siquiera sabemos cuán tonta es.
Therefore, we always obey the foolish mind.
Por lo tanto, siempre obedecemos a la tonta mente.
And Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna described the mind as the greatest enemy.
En el Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describe a la mente como nuestro más grande enemigo.
In Bhagavatam, the mind is also very nicely described.
Y en el Bhagavatam, la mente también está descrita muy bien, de forma muy bien.
And a detailed explanation has been given how to control the mind.
Y se ha dado una explicación muy detallada de cómo se puede controlar a la mente.
But Krishna said, if the mind is conquered, then the super soul is already achieved.
Se dice que cuando uno controla la mente, uno ya ha llegado a la superalma.
If the mind is conquered, all the senses who are under the shelter of the mind will be conquered.
Se dice que cuando uno controla la mente, todos los demás sentidos que están al refugio de la mente también serán controlados.
Controlling the senses begins from controlling the mind.
Controlar los sentidos comienza con el control de la mente.
If the mind is not controlled, we can work on controlling other senses. We will still be defeated.
Sin controlar la mente y queriendo controlar los demás sentidos, vamos solo a hacer, nunca vamos a poder lograr.
Because all the senses take their inspiration, all the senses take their power, their strength, they take their direction from the mind.
Porque todos los sentidos toman la dirección, toman el permiso de la mente.
So here, His Holiness 𝐂𝐻𝐻 is addressing the mind.
Entonces aquí su santidad Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj nos está haciendo identificar esto.
What is the activity of the foolish mind?
¿Cuál es la actividad de la mente tonta?
The activity of the foolish mind is to cheat us of our right.
La actividad de la mente tonta es la de engañarnos acerca de nuestros derechos.
So Gurudev is saying, why are you trying to keep me away from the object of my life, the lotus field of Lord Shama Sundar? Why not join me? For only there we have real pleasure and love.
Entonces Maharaj está diciendo, ¿por qué estás tratando de mantenerme alejado del objeto de mi vida, los pies del loto del Señor Syamasundara? ¿Por qué no te unes a mí? Porque solo allí encontraremos verdadero placer y amor.
The mind take us to so many places, but only one place. The mind would never take us to Krishna.
La mente nos va a llevar a muchos lugares, pero hay un solo lugar al cual nunca nos llevará, y eso es a los pies del loto de Krishna.
The mind will advertise to us how wonderful so many things are, but the mind will never advertise Krishna, how wonderful, how powerful Krishna is.
La mente nos va a querer advertir o nos va a querer mostrar un montón de cosas increíbles, pero nunca nos va a llevar y a advertir y a mostrar acerca de lo increíble y poderoso que Krishna es.
Trying to control the mind is the sole responsibility of devotees in Krishna consciousness.
Tratar de controlar la mente es la responsabilidad de aquellos devotos que están en la conciencia de Krishna.
So we have to put effort into controlling the mind.
Entonces tenemos que hacer un esfuerzo para poder controlar la mente.
Then we'll be directed to our real friend, our real pleasure, and our real love.
Entonces luego seremos encaminados o guiados hacia nuestro verdadero amigo, hacia el verdadero placer y hacia el verdadero amor.
And we should be fortunate enough to be tired of the tricks of the mind.
Uno solo puede ser afortunado cuando se sienta cansado de los trucos que nos hace la mente.
So Gurudev is addressing, how long will you keep hiding, jumping out, attack me whenever you think I'm asleep? Don't try to drag me away from the lotus feet of Lord Shama Sundar. For only there will we find real pleasure and love.
Entonces aquí Maharaj continúa, mente tonta, ¿cuánto tiempo seguirás escondiéndote, saltando para atacarme cada vez que creas que estoy dormido? No trates de alejarme de los pies del loto del Señor Syamasundara, porque solo allí encontraremos verdadero placer y amor.
The mind is waiting for when we are not thinking of Krishna to engage us in thinking of something else. The mind is very attentive, very careful, very watchful. When we don't think of Krishna, she will engage us in something else.
Entonces la mente siempre está muy activa, siempre está muy atenta para detectar el momento en que no estamos pensando en Krishna para atacar.
All of our sufferings in this material world is due to the fact that the mind is not controlled.
Todo nuestro sufrimiento se debe al hecho de que la mente, de cuando la mente no está ocupada, siendo ocupada.
The mind, which is not controlled, will take us to unnecessary places and give us so many unnecessary things.
La mente que no está controlada nos va a llevar hacia lugares totalmente innecesarios y a pensar en cosas innecesarias.
For many lifetimes, you have followed me everywhere as a close friend, when in actuality, you are my greatest enemy. Taking advantage of my weaknesses, you want to keep me from the lotus feet of Lord Shyamasundara and his devotees. It is only their feet that can give life. So abandon this nonsense and let us together seek real pleasure and love.
Entonces Maharaj continúa: durante muchas vidas me has seguido a todas partes como un amigo cercano, cuando en realidad eres mi mayor enemigo. Aprovechando mis debilidades, quieres alejarme de los pies del loto del señor Shyamasundara y sus devotos. Son solo sus pies los que me han dado vida. Así que abandona esta tontería y busquemos juntos el verdadero placer y el amor.
The mind is never a friend.
La mente nunca es un amigo,
It's the enemy.
es el enemigo.
Therefore, if you want to conquer the mind,
Por lo tanto, si quieres conquistar la mente,
you should associate with those who have conquered the mind.
debemos asociarnos con aquellos que han conquistado a la mente.
When they speak, they will address this foolish mind.
Cuando ellos hablan, ellos van a dirigirse hacia esta mente tonta.
They will help us to understand the nature of the mind. Otherwise, we will not be able to know it on our own.
Y nos van a ayudar a explicarnos la naturaleza de la mente, porque si no, por nuestra cuenta no podremos descifrarlo.
So, what we're looking for, every living entity looking for in this world is with the Lord and the Lord's devotees.
Entonces, cualquier ser lo que en realidad está buscando es al Señor y a sus devotos.
There are many people in this material world who knows, so to some extent they are fortunate to know that we are not the body.
Hay muchos seres que son lo suficientemente afortunados para entender de que no son este cuerpo.
And so many special organizations, they are speaking this philosophy. We are not the body. Aham Brahmasmi. I'm a spirit soul. I'm not this body. I'm a spirit soul.
Y muchas organizaciones están hablando acerca de esto. Aham Brahmasmi. No soy este cuerpo, soy un alma espiritual.
Although they will speak the philosophy, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, but they don't engage themselves in activity of the spirit soul.
Y a pesar de que tienen este conocimiento de que no son el cuerpo, de que son almas espirituales, pero no se ocupan en actividades espirituales.
So Srila Prabhupada said, just to understand that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul is useless. It's not enough.
Y como Srila Prabhupada dijo, tener el conocimiento, comprender de que no somos estos cuerpos materiales, de que somos seres espirituales, es inútil, no es suficiente.
If we are not this body, but the spirit soul, then we should be engaged in activities of the spirit soul.
Si no somos este cuerpo y somos seres espirituales, entonces debemos ocuparnos en actividades espirituales.
That is possible when we have association with the pure devotees of Krishna.
Eso va a ser solo posible cuando tengamos asociación de un devoto puro de Krishna.
Otherwise, the mind will never get tired. The mind will continue to drag us here and there without any rest.
De otra manera no va a ser posible y la mente nos va a llevar sin descanso y nos va a arrastrar de un lugar para allí.
Why the mind is taking us to all places and not taking us to Krishna?
¿Por qué la mente nos lleva de aquí para allá hacia varios lugares, pero no nos lleva a Krishna?
Gurudev said, foolish mind, will you ever tire? Stop envying my worshipful Lord. Without the shelter of the lotus flower of Shama Sundar and his devotees, life is a failure.
Entonces Maharaj continúa, mente tonta, ¿alguna vez te cansarás? Deja de envidiar a mi adorado Señor. Sin el refugio de los pies del loto del Señor Shyamasundara y sus devotos, la vida es un fracaso.
The mind is so foolish that it continues to tell us or always plan to cheat us.
La mente es tan tonta que siempre está haciendo planes para engañarnos.
How does a man cheat us?
¿Cómo es que la mente nos engaña?
The mind present the distinction and adoration and expect us to run after them. This is what you need. Go for it. Without this, you don't have any existence. For you to exist, adoration, distinction, respect, go for them.
Entonces Maharaj continúa, mente tonta, presentas distinción y adoración y esperas que corras tras ellos. Esto es lo que la mente está presentando, distinción, adoración, poder, y espera que vayamos por ellos.
But when we take shelter of pure devotee, they will teach us that our only desire now is to run for the blessing of the feet of Lord Shyamasundar and his devotees. It is only there that the real pleasure and real love resides.
Pero si tomamos asociación de los devotos, ellos nos van a decir que el único deseo ahora es correr por las bendiciones de los pies del Señor Shyamasundar y sus devotos, porque solo allí reside el verdadero placer y amor.
This is a process of conquering the mind, or having the mind to listen to us. We must get this instruction, this message, this blessing from Krishna's pure devotees.
Y para poder controlar la mente y para que la mente nos oiga y nos obedezca, debemos tomar refugio en el Señor Krishna y en sus devotos.
Another weapon the mind uses is what? Foolish mind. You hurl the weapons of doubt and fear at me, but I am taking full shelter of Lord Shyamasundar and his devotees. With such protection, what can your weapons do? Put them aside and join me in seeking real pleasure and love.
Entonces, otra de los trucos, otras de las cosas que la mente nos trata de demostrar es lo que aquí Maharaj continúa diciendo. Mente necia, me arrojas las armas de la duda y el miedo, pero yo me estoy refugiando por completo en el Señor Shyamasundar y sus devotos. Con tal protección, ¿qué pueden hacer vuestras armas? Déjalas a un lado y únete a mí en la búsqueda del verdadero placer y amor.
The mind brings in fear and doubt.
La mente trae dudas y miedos.
Is it what you are going to do with the whole of your life?
¿Esto es lo que vas a hacer por el resto de tu vida?
You don't see. See. Can't you see? Open your eyes and see. See that car. see that man, see that woman, oh, see that position, see the world. You are blind. Is it what you're going to do with your life?
Mira, 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 mira esto, mira este coche, mira esta casa, mira estas cosas. Esto es lo que vas a hacer por el resto de tu vida. Mira el mundo. ¿Esto es lo que vas a hacer? ¿Por qué estás tan ciego? Mira.
You are backward. Look forward.
Estás yendo hacia atrás, eres retrasado. Muévete hacia adelante.
Look at all your mates. Look at all your mates. They are doctors and this and ministers and don't look at them. Can't you see? You're backward.
Mira a tus amigos, mira a tus compañeros. Ellos se han graduado, son doctores. Mira tu vida. Ah, eres solo un retrasado.
You want to waste your life in this way? You want to waste your life in...
¿Quieres desperdiciar tu vida de esta forma? No desperdicies tu vida de esta manera.
In Barokita, Krishna called the man a demon. Doubt is a demon. Fear is a demon. Krishna described all this in Bhagavad. Doubt is a demon. Fear is demon.
Entonces, en el Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describe a la duda y al temor como demonios. El temor es un demonio y la duda también es un demonio.
In the Puranas, Veda Bhakti was, you see, Lakshmi Devi, Sita Devi, she was performing austerity to get Lord Narayan as her husband.
En los Puranas, Vedavati, quien es Lakshmi Devi, ella estaba realizando austeridades para obtener al señor Narayan como su esposo.
Ravana came there and saw her beauty. Ravana said, what is this? You are wasting this beauty. You are wasting your youth. You are just useless. Don't do this. You should do meditation only when you are old and useless. Why are you taking to Krishna consciousness at this age? You don't have intelligence.
Entonces, cuando Ravana la vio, él se enfureció diciendo, ¿por qué estás perdiendo tu tiempo ahora? Tú eres joven, eres hermosa, ¿por qué estás desperdiciando todo esto? Uno debe solo meditar cuando uno es viejo.
Come and enjoy your life with me. When you get old, yeah, then we can go to the forest and do that thing. Not this stage, not at this stage. You are too young to take to Krishna consciousness.
Eres demasiado joven para tomar la conciencia de Krishna ahora. Ven conmigo, disfruta conmigo ahora. Luego, cuando seas viejo, cuando estés viejo, entonces puedes meditar y hacer todas estas cosas.
You know, even if you follow the mind and you get old and want to do bhakti, the same mind will tell you are a fool. Why did you wait until when you are useless? The same mind will tell you like that.
Incluso cuando la mente te diga, no hagas esto ahora, disfruta, solo cuando seas viejo, haz estas cosas. Y cuando eres viejo, es la misma mente que te dice, mira, estás viejo, ahora te pones a hacer estas cosas.
And all the nonsense things we did at the youth, they will be playing, they will be playing it constantly when you want to chant. That is what to come to the mind. The mind will never listen to the holiness, but the same man have deceived us. Don't waste our youth for this nonsense. Wait when they're old. When you get old, the man will say, don't look at you, you are useless. Now you can't do anything, you want to practice austerity. Which meditation can you do? Give the thing up.
Entonces, todas las cosas innecesarias que hacemos en la juventud, luego se van a volver un impedimento cuando seamos viejos y queramos meditar, pues todas las cosas innecesarias en las que nos hemos ocupado van a impedirnos que podamos cantar el santo nombre. Entonces, es la mente la que nos dice luego, ¿por qué has desperdiciado toda tu vida y quieres cantar ahora? No es posible.
So demon doubt, demon fear, they will all come in. Then demon anger, all the demons will be coming one by one because they are all loaded there in the heart. They are loaded there in the heart. The mind will be manifesting all these demons one by one.
Entonces el demonio de la duda, el demonio del miedo, el demonio de la ira, todas esas cosas se van a manifestar. La mente va a ayudar a manifestarlos.
And then in 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐭𝐢, you hear the same thing. One Shiva worshipper, Sakta, one Shiva worshipper. He is a Goswami householder, but he worships Lord Shiva and he drink palm wine. He drink wine, alcohol.
Entonces en el Chaitanya Bhagavatam hay un devoto del señor Shiva que él adoraba al señor Shiva para poder tomar vino.
So when he saw Lord Nityananda Prabhu and saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, oh Brahmana boys, you are so beautiful, you are so beautiful, you are so handsome, you are so fresh. So I give you blessing. As a Goswami, I'm giving you blessing. You will have a very beautiful world and you will enjoy your senses fully.
Entonces este devoto del señor Shiva, cuando vio al señor Chaitanya y al señor Nityananda, que eran tan hermosos, tan frescos, tan jóvenes, les dijo, yo soy un Goswami y les voy a dar una bendición, que ustedes van a tener esposas y van a disfrutar con ellas.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is not the blessing of a Goswami. A Goswami doesn't give blessing like this. This is nonsense.
Entonces el señor Chaitanya dijo, estas bendiciones, no, un Goswami no da este tipo de bendiciones. Esto no tiene sentido, esto son tonterías.
So the Sakta said, so what is wrong with my blessing? What is wrong with my blessing for you? What is wrong with my blessing?
Entonces el Shakta, el devoto del señor Shiva, estaba preocupado y dijo, pero ¿cuál es el problema con mis bendiciones? ¿Qué problema hay con mis bendiciones?
This your youthful, fresh body, what are you going to do with it? If you don't gratify your senses, what will you do with it?
Ustedes tienen cuerpos jóvenes, frescos, hermosos. ¿Qué van a hacer si no disfrutan de los sentidos?
Oh, now I can see the influence of Kali Yuga.
Oh, ahora puedo ver la influencia de Kali Yuga.
Children who are still sucking breast, now they have the authority to advise me. Now babies who are still sucking breast have authority to advise me, who have studied all the scriptures, have visited all the holy places. These little boys now are going to teach me. Yes, I can see the influence of Kali Yuga.
Ahora puedo ver la influencia de Kali Yuga. Este niño, esta persona que recién estaba tomando leche de los pechos de su madre, me está queriendo ordenar, me está queriendo enseñar. Yo que he visitado todos los lugares de peregrinaje y que he estudiado todas las escrituras, ¿y esta persona me quiere enseñar a mí?
Doubt, fear.
Dudas, miedo.
They are the activities of the mind.
Esas son actividades de la mente.
What about if you don't succeed? Don't you see that materially you don't enjoy, spiritually you don't enjoy? Don't you see you'll be a loser?
¿Qué sucede? Que no disfrutas materialmente, no disfrutas espiritualmente. ¿No ves que eres un fracaso?
Don't you see? Can you look around? Can you see any pure devotee here? This one is like this, this one is like this, this one is like this, this one is like this. See all of them, they're like this. Can't you open your eyes and see? Are you sure? Are you sure that you will be successful? And if you don't succeed, what will happen? You are not, you didn't enjoy your senses and you don't become spiritual. You are like what I don't say, arriving clouds. You are just useless. You don't belong anywhere. Think properly.
¿Acaso no puedes ver? Piensa apropiadamente. No puedes disfrutar materialmente. ¿Ves este devoto aquí? Mira este devoto allá. Mira este devoto. ¿Hay algún devoto puro aquí? No puedes disfrutar espiritualmente. Entonces, como Arjuna preguntó a Krishna en el Bhagavad Gita, no hay disfrute material, no hay logro material, no hay logro espiritual. ¿Será que te desvanecerás como una nube que se aparta de otra grande nube?
So Gurudev is addressing the mind with soul protection that what can your weapon do? Put them aside and join me in seeking the real pleasure and power, which is at the lotus feet of Shyama and his devotees.
Entonces aquí Maharaj está diciendo ¿qué podés hacer con las armas, con esas armas, teniendo la protección a los pies del loto del señor Samasundar y sus devotos? Deja a un lado eso y únete a mí en la búsqueda del verdadero placer y amor.
Foolish mind, you are a rascal. I challenge you to present your best offers. They are useless. A present lotus feet of Lord Shyama Sundar are far superior to anything you have. Get away, get far away from me. Meet me at the source of real pleasure and love.
Mente tonta, eres un bribón. Te reto a que presentes tus mejores ofertas. Son inútiles. Los invaluables pies de loto del señor Syamasundara son muy superiores a cualquier cosa que tengas. Aléjate de mí. Déjame en la fuente del verdadero placer y amor.
Foolish mind, you seek attention. Please go somewhere else, as I have seen all of your tricks. My attention now rests solely on the Lord and his devotees. The lotus feet have captured my existence.
Mente tonta, buscas atención. Por favor, ve a otro lugar, ya que he visto todos tus trucos. Mi atención ahora descansa únicamente en el Señor y sus devotos. Sus pies de loto han capturado mi existencia.
Foolish mind, you seek attention. Please go somewhere else, as I've seen all your tricks. My attention now rests solely on the Lord and his devotees. Their lotus feet have captured my existence. Foolish mind. Sometimes you come in disguise as my brother, my teacher, my friend, or guide. But now I have tricked you. Yeah? Your harassment has given me to the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Shyama Sundar and his devotees. Here, all of humanity can find real pleasure and love. Yes.
Mente tonta, a veces vienes disfrazado como mi hermano, maestro, amigo o guía, pero ahora te he engañado. Tu hostigamiento me ha llevado al refugio de los pies del loto del señor Syamasundar y sus devotos. Aquí, toda la humanidad puede encontrar verdadero placer y amor.
The mind is not our friend. The mind is not our brother. The mind is just our enemy, just disguised so that they can trick us. Therefore, we have to learn the science of tricking the mind.
La mente no es nuestra amiga. Ella viene a veces como nuestro maestro, como nuestro hermano, nuestro amigo, pero es nuestra enemiga. Entonces debemos aprender cómo engañar a la mente.
Like if you want to chant very nicely, you should trick the mind. Don't tell the mind, I'm going to chant 16 rounds.
Así cuando queremos cantar las rondas, no debemos decirle a la mente, vamos a cantar 16 rondas.
We trick the mind, tell the mind, I just want to chant one name, that's all. Just one name.
Debemos engañar a la mente diciéndole, solo vamos a cantar un nombre, solo un nombre.
So just continue chanting. Solo
Y
one
luego,
name.
y luego continúas cantando solo un nombre.
Tell the mind I'm going to chant. Say, that is too much. What about other things? What about this? Hey, the whole day is wasted for chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And what will happen to you? Hare Krishna mantra is going to give you food. This Hare Krishna mantra are going to get food. If you don't go and work, the Hare Krishna mantra is going to give you food. The mind will tell you this nonsense.
La mente te va a decir estas tonterías. Ni bien le dices a la mente, vamos a cantar 16 rondas. ¿Tanto tiempo? No, hay que hacer otras cosas. Este canto de Mahamantra te va a traer dinero, te va a traer comida.
So, if we are sheltered, we are taking shelter, Lord Shamasunda and his devotees. The devotees will give us this trick, how to trick the mind.
Entonces debemos tomar refugio a los pies del loto del Señor Samasunda y de sus devotos. Son los devotos los que nos van a enseñar de cómo engañar a la mente.
Yes, now I have decided not to follow you. I'm going to follow Lord Shamasunda because that is where there is real eternal love and peace. That is where you get it, nowhere else.
Ahora no te voy a seguir porque ahora estoy siguiendo al Señor Shamasundar, porque es allí en donde realmente voy a encontrar eterna paz. Es el único lugar en donde se puede encontrar.
Oh, foolish mind. You are calling my name, but I can only hear the transcendental name of my Lord Shamasunda. To call on his name is the perfection and the resting place of all sound. Please stop your noise so that I can meditate on that divine sound.
Oh, mente tonta. ¿Estás llamando mi nombre? Pero solo puedo escuchar el nombre trascendental de mi Señor Shamasundar. Invocar su nombre es la perfección. Es eso. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Gurudev.
Okay. Yes. So the mind has a lot of sound in our consciousness. The mind is producing so much loud sound of sense gratification in our consciousness that we hardly hear the Maha Mantra or hear the voice of the Super Soul calling and directing and guiding us.
Hay tantos sonidos, tantos ruidos de gratificación sensorial, materiales, que difícilmente podemos escuchar el sonido del Mahamantra o incluso escuchar la voz de la superalma que nos está hablando y guiando.
Foolish mind. You are counterfeit. You are bringing this object of lust, trying to sell them to me, when it is real love I have come to purchase. You previously confused me in the past with these artificial trinkets, but no more. Finish with your nonsense. Those days are over. I will pay any price for darshan of the lotus feet of Lord Shamasundar and his devotees, for they are to be found to real pleasure of love. Oh, foolish mind. You are so expert in presenting and the unreal as real, and the real as illusion. Rascal, there is no reality outside of the shelter of the Shyama Sundara and his devotees. Oh, how I aspire for that pleasure and love.
Mente tonta, eres una falsificadora. Estás trayendo estos objetos de lujuria, tratando de vendérmelos, cuando es amor verdadero lo que he venido a comprar. Anteriormente me confundiste en el pasado con estas baratijas artificiales, pero no más. Esos días han terminado. Pagaré cualquier precio por el darshan de los pies de loto del señor Shyama Sundar y sus asociados, porque allí se puede encontrar verdadero placer y amor. Oh mente tonta, eres tan experta en presentar lo irreal como real y lo real como una ilusión. Bribona, no hay realidad fuera del refugio del señor Shyama Sundar y sus devotos. Oh, cómo aspiro a ese placer y amor.
Foolish mind, you have often made me offend many great Vaishnavas. Now, you must come and join me and take shelter at the lotus feet of the Shyama Sundar and the great Vaishnavas. It is only there that we will find real pleasure, peace, and love for eternity.
Mente tonta, a menudo me has hecho ofender a muchos grandes Vaishnavas. Ahora debes venir y unirte a mí y refugiarte a los pies del loto del señor Shyama Sundara y los grandes Vaishnavas. Solo allí encontraremos verdadero placer, paz y amor y eternidad.
Yes, the mind presents illusion as reality. And
Entonces,
illusion.
sorry, Guru.
Go ahead.
Sí, es cierto, la mente es experta en presentar lo irreal como real y lo real como una ilusión.
So Narottam Das Thakur said that in one of his songs.
Srila Narottam Das Thakur dice eso en una de sus canciones.
Asetre satukuri maninitai padapashariya ahankar motohuya. We, instead of us to accept the local field of non-eternal, which is eternal, permanent, and transcendental, we have accepted the impermanent as permanent, sense gratification as life, suffering as enjoyment.
Entonces allí Narottam Das Thakur dice que hemos... can we go through the translation, please?
Yes, is there?
Yeah. Yes. Ok, entonces hemos estado siendo locos con falso prestigio, nos hemos identificado con el cuerpo y no hemos aceptado los pies del loto del señor Nityananda. Hemos aceptado lo falso como verdadero. Hemos aceptado este cuerpo y su gratificación de los sentidos como la meta última.
So this is the trick of the mind.
Entonces estos son los engaños, los trucos que hace la mente.
So Narottam Das Thakur said, let us take shelter of the lotus field of non-eternal. That can be possible only when we have the fortune of taking the shelter of non-eternal as representative, the pure devotees.
Entonces para lograr controlar la mente, Narottam Das Thakur dice que debemos aceptar los pies del loto del señor Nityananda. Y para poder lograr esto, debemos tomar refugio a los pies de un representante y del señor Nityananda.
Nityananda Balaram ki jai.
Jai.
BDDSwami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Comments, questions?
Hare Krishna.
Krishna devotees, in case you have any questions or comments, you can raise your hand on Zoom or you can type your question in the chat box as well. Our first question is from Pranahari Prabhuji. We request Prabhuji to please unmute.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Sorry, I missed a part of it. I got a call actually. Sorry for that. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Happy to have you with us.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. Nice, very nice actually. Lecture actually. Thank you very much. Maharaj, I have a little different opinion actually on regarding that what we are discussing today actually. It's basically like so basically like we talk so much about that controlling and cursing and not coming into our hand, not able to work properly. I think Jagnivas Prabhu can translate. So my question is that there are so many positive aspects of it. Actually, we don't talk about the
aspect of what?
Of the mind, basically like the mind. Actually, there's so many positive aspects of the mind. Actually, it is the one which actually helps us to elevate ourselves into spirituality in every field actually. And but we see that it is one of the main obstruction in the field of the spirituality, but it is the key actually. That is my question.
Entonces Prabhu está hablando de que tiene una opinión un poco diferente a lo que se estuvo hablando, porque en realidad como que se está presentando aspectos muy negativos de la mente, pero en realidad la mente es la que nos ayuda a lograr un estado espiritual. Entonces, ¿cómo reconciliar esto? Yes,
all the unnecessary things which is causing our suffering is coming from the mind. How is that good for you?
Todas las cosas innecesarias y todo el sufrimiento por el cual estamos pasando se debe a la mente. ¿Cómo eso es bueno para ti?
The mind is good only when the mind have been fortunate to take shelter of the devotees of Krishna. That is the only point the mind will be working favorably. Until we take to Krishna, when we take a shelter of a devotee, the mind will always work against us.
La mente siempre va a trabajar o va a estar en contra de nosotros hasta que tengamos la fortuna, hasta el punto de que tengamos la fortuna de que la mente tome refugio en los pies de un sirviente del Señor Krishna.
The conditioned mind will never tell us anything good. Never. Not even one thing, not even a moment.
La mente condicionada nunca nos traerá nada bueno, ni siquiera por un momento, nunca, por nada va a ser bueno.
What causes us to offend Vaishnavas, to offend Krishna? Is it because of purity? No, it is the foolish mind.
¿Qué nos ha causado a ofender a Krishna, a ofender a los devotos? ¿Es nuestra pureza? No, es nuestra mente, nuestra tonta mente.
We sit in a class, the acharyas are trying to educate us, to take us out of the mind. We sit in a class, we don't hear. Why? The mind is engaged in something else.
Estamos sentados en una clase y los acharyas nos están tratando de educar para poder controlar la mente, para poder salir de aquí, ¿Y qué es lo que la mente hace? La mente está enfocada en otra cosa, fuera.
So the mind is our enemy. It is true, confirmed in Bhagavad Gita.
Entonces la mente es nuestra enemiga, está confirmado en el Bhagavad Gita.
Until we take shelter of Krishna, Krishna's devotees, then the mind will be gradually regulated to come to the point when the mind will become friend.
Entonces debemos, la mente condicionada debe tomar refugio en Krishna y en sus devotos y regularla hasta llegar al punto en que se convierta nuestra amiga.
All right.
Yes, yes, Maharaj, that's correct. Thank you very much. And Maharaj, you mentioned in one of these slides that taking advantage of something weakness. You mentioned, I think, I don't know which slide it was. Advantage of meaning like our mind is taking the advantage of. I think, taking advantage of my weakness. You want to keep me from the lotus feet of the champion and its devotees. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's clear now, Maharaj. It's clear. Thank you. It's written. Okay, now it's clear. Actually, I was.
Yes.
Yeah, right, Maharaj. This is okay now. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Alex.
Dear devotees, in case you have any questions, you may just raise your hand on Zoom. In case you're typing out your question, you can just unmute and ask it now. Srila Gurudev, we have just one comment from YouTube from Radhakund Mataji. And Mataji is saying, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for the practical application and also how to trick the mind. So,
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev. We have one more question from, two more questions actually, from Amit Joshi Prabhuji and Shyam Murari Prabhu. Prabhus, you may kindly unmute and ask your question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this very wonderful explanation on how we can, how that mind is trying to take us on the wrong path. So Maharaj, my question is that we understand, I have come to understand that by the intelligence we can control the mind, we can tame the mind. So what are the ways to strengthen our intelligence?
La pregunta que Prabhu está haciendo es que a través de la inteligencia podemos controlar a la mente, pero ¿cómo podemos hacer nuestra inteligencia fuerte o poderosa?
All right. Other ways to strengthen our intelligence is to study the scriptures.
Una forma de hacer nuestra inteligencia más fuerte es estudiar las escrituras.
If you study the scriptures, we'll get all the necessary strength to understand deeply the nature of the mind, and also we have also the strength, because by studying the scriptures, sacrifice, we get the strength to defend ourselves when the mind bringing all kinds of tricks.
Entonces, estudiar las escrituras es una austeridad y nos va a dar conocimiento acerca de la naturaleza de la mente, y debido a que estudiar las escrituras es una austeridad en sí, nos va a dar el poder necesario para poder controlar la mente.
Next is to have association with devotees who are well trained in Krishna.
Y necesitamos tener buena asociación con devotos que han sido apropiadamente entrenados en conciencia de Krishna.
All right?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Shyam Murari Prabhuji, may I ask your question?
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances.
Thank you.
Srila Gurudev, I have a question. When Krishna says to Arjuna that, Arjuna says that, what is there in the heart that is burning so much that even if we don't want to do it, still it pushes. So similarly, the mind pushes a lot of times, Srila Gurudev, when it has certain desire. And when things don't go as per the mind, sometimes it shouts a lot. So we read, we hear, we chant, and sometimes things we face some failure or some setbacks. Then also we do several things, but then we see that it shouts throughout the day. So why this happens and how we can overcome this conditioning?
Thank you.
Entonces, Prabhu está preguntando de que, así como Arjuna dice, de que muchas veces no queremos hacer algo, pero hay algo detrás que nos impulsa, como un fuego que nos quema, que nos impulsa a hacer ciertas actividades. Muchas veces la mente también se comporta así, y cantamos y leemos y hacemos nuestras actividades espirituales, pero aún así hay momentos que la mente grita sin parar y nos empuja, nos está empujando constantemente. Incluso hay situaciones en las cuales, a pesar de que hacemos y tratamos de llevar adelante nuestras actividades espirituales, algunas veces tenemos algunos desafíos o no nos va bien en algo y la mente constantemente está gritando detrás. Entonces, ¿qué podemos hacer para poder lograr una estabilidad?
Why the mind is shouting so loud and we are being affected is because we are not hearing the louder sound of super soul.
Entonces, ¿por qué la mente está gritando y nos está afectando con ese grito y nos afecta? Es debido a que no escuchamos a la super alma que también está gritando.
The super soul voice is louder than the voice of the mind. So we don't hear the super soul, we hear the mind because we have a lower nature. Therefore, we should raise the voice of the super soul. I will not hear the mind's voice again.
¿Por qué escuchamos al grito de la mente cuando el grito de la superalma es más fuerte? Eso se debe a que se debe a nuestra naturaleza baja. Entonces debemos elevar nuestra naturaleza para poder escuchar el grito de la superalma.
Actually, that is Krishna's costless mercy for us.
En realidad esa es la misericordia sin causa de Krishna para con nosotros.
Krishna is so kind, Krishna is so merciful, Krishna is so vigilant that he knows everything.
Krishna es tan amable, él es tan generoso que él sabe todo.
Therefore, Krishna allows us to see that on the scale, the sense gratification noise is too high. Means what? Means that our bhakti is low.
Entonces, él nos está mostrando en una balanza, si nuestra gratificación de los sentidos es muy alta, nuestra conciencia de Krishna es mínima, es baja.
And what Krishna is doing is to help us to raise the super soul voice so that it will cover that of the mind. And that is our security, that is our salvation, that's our fortune.
Y nuestra salvación, nuestra seguridad, nuestra buena fortuna es que Krishna nos está demostrando de que tenemos que elevar nuestra conciencia de Krishna para poder sobrepasar el ruido de la gratificación sensorial y así escuchar a la superalma.
On our own, we will not be able to hear it. We will not be able to understand it. So we'll be just depending on the mind without understanding exactly what Krishna is trying to tell us. But with the help of other devotees around, they will help us to point it out. No, the voice is louder because we are spiritually weak. Let us raise our spiritual standards, and the voice of the mind will go down automatically.
Entonces, por nuestra propia cuenta no podremos entender cómo la mente, cómo es posible solo escuchar a la mente. Y eso se debe a que por nuestra cuenta no podremos lograrlo. Necesitamos la asociación de los devotos para que nos enseñen cómo elevar nuestra conciencia y poder así poder comprender a la mente y poder conquistarla.
So we can learn to stimulate our Krishna consciousness, and then the mind will be less.
Entonces podemos aprender cómo estimular nuestra mente en conciencia de Krishna y así aplacar a la mente.
All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you for the wonderful answer of hearing the voice of Super Soul. And that is solution for the problem of mind. Right?
Yes. Another question from the chat box.
Yes, Srila Gurudev, we have there are two questions from Marla Mataji. So Mataji is asking, is it the case that the Paramatma is a devotee that we take shelter of? I think it may be because in my seeking, I first turned within and realized, oh, we are here to learn life after life and to improve. And so when I ran into devotees, the first time I ran to them, these guys know about reincarnation. Let me talk to them. So Mataji is trying to understand in this first question that is it the case that the Paramatma is a devotee that we take shelter of?
Paramatma is Krishna. Paramatma is expansion of Krishna. It's not Jiva. It's a Jiva. It's not Jiva. Paramatma is not Jiva. It's expansion of Krishna. So yes, and the duty is to guide us, to help guide us, to direct us, to the devotee externally. The Paramatma inside will guide us to meet his expansion, the representative of Krishna outside. That is how the connection is made.
Entonces la madre tiene una pregunta. En el caso de que Paramatma, es el caso de que Paramatma es el caso de que Paramatma es un devoto en el cual tomamos la vez que me puse a meditar y realicé, estamos aquí para aprender vida y traté de hablar con ellos. Entendí de que estas personas conocían mucho acerca de la reencarnación. Podemos hablar. Entonces Gurudeva respondió de que Paramatma no es una jiva ordinaria. Entonces él nos está guiando por dentro y él nos conoce por dentro. Entonces cuando él nos guía, nos lleva hacia las personas necesarias para poder obtener lo que nosotros estamos deseando.
So the Super Soul, taking pity upon us, will guide us to meet a devotee who also now will take charge in guiding us. And that is the beginning of our journey back to Godhead.
Entonces la superalma nos guía y nos lleva internamente y nos lleva hacia un devoto que es una expansión de Krishna y nos sigue guiando exteriormente. Y esa es la manera de la vida espiritual.
part 2.
Yes, Srila Gurudev. Mataji continues here. Isn't it also the case that we can choose turn the mind to the body and senses, or turn the mind to Paramatma and be informed from there instead?
Entonces la segunda pregunta dice, ¿es cierto de que tenemos la oportunidad de escoger, de llevar la mente hacia el cuerpo y los sentidos, o hacia Paramatma y ser informado a través de Paramatma?
When the Paramatma from inside guide us to meet with the devotee outside. Now the devotee outside will start training us in Krishna consciousness. And with that training, we will get the purification. And from that purification, we will be able to hear more of the super soul. And gradually we'll make advancements.
Entonces, Paramatma nos va a guiar hacia la persona indicada, y cuando aceptamos y tomamos refugio en esa persona, nos va a dar, nos va a enseñar, nos va a guiar para poder purificarnos cada vez más y ir avanzando en nuestro proceso de conciencia de Krishna.
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev, for this wonderful class today. And we're looking forward to your association in the coming weeks with the festivals coming around. And we thank you for your time, for attending all the questions as well. And we are also thankful to all the devotees who are so keenly hearing and asked such wonderful questions today. His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Swami Maharaj ki Jai. His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Ora Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Jai.